the gambling thing was taken care of, because that was the thing that was holding all the leagues back. That they thought there would never be a professional team here because of the sport. However, the funny part was, boxing was the biggest thing that this town ever seen, and you could bet on those games, right? You could bet on them in the sport. But it was just a matter of bringing it together.
And you know, it was also interesting when you think about that Thunder team. You had Mayon Rayon,
yep,
the female goalie, come here and play. You had Peter Nedved. You had some NHL guy, Curtis Joseph, which is well. Here's some video right here of it seems like everything Vegas does is historic, right? Here's Mayon Rayon right here, talking a little bit. She played a game, and then you got Peter Nedved that rolls in here who played a game. So there's so much hockey history. Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
When he came to town, nobody really knew who he was. And, I mean, look at his career, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a real superstar. But we really had a good time. And the thing that we tried to promote more than anything else was, and this was just kind of fun, we always presented it as though we already were the NHL. We put the team out, the storylines, and that's what's really in the book that's kind of fun. We've got some of those
stories that Myron could tell us, right?
Oh, exactly, some of those things. But the bottom line is that Las Vegans didn't really know the difference. So we were making sure that they had a great entertainment value sport that they could take the family to, afford it, and be able to have a good time and enjoy something out of the ordinary of, you know, chasing grasshoppers or something like that. I mean, there was not a lot of sport, winter sport, in this city at that time.
You know, you also, when you think about, you know, the ice hockey, but there was also roller hockey that came through here, and some NHL guys played on the roller hockey teams.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
the
history is so, yeah, the Flash, interesting. Well, there it is right there, the Las Vegas Flash.
Yep.
What can you tell us about this group right here?
The interesting part, again, I don't want to give too much of the book away because it's in the book, but I was actually at the arena at the Santa Fe, and 4 guys walked in black suits, and I'm thinking, well, they finally found me. But all kidding aside, one of them was Slava Fetisov, who I recognized. And when they came over and they started talking to me, they had already gone through trying to talk to other people about putting in a team, a roller hockey professional team from Utah, and it didn't go very well. They got snubbed. So they came out to the Santa Fe, they walked up to me and they said, we want to bring a professional roller hockey team here in the city. And I went, yeah, okay. I didn't really know a lot about it, but you know, we cut a deal within 48 hours. And immediately then I took over the Flash. We had nothing. And again, you'll see, we started with absolutely a handshake. And and I went to Myron and Randy Ewertson, who's deceased, who's passed, we miss him. But I went to Myron and Randy and I said, hey, we're going to do another team. And Myron goes, yeah, what kind? I said, roller hockey. He kind of laughed also, chuckled a little bit. And I said, no, really, professional. We're NHL players. We're bringing them here. And he goes, okay, well, we'll do well. I said, no, we got 3 months.
Yeah.
We start the first game in 3 months, and he about threw me aside. And
Myron, give us a story from the book. I mean, give us a hockey story that you really liked. That's unusual. It's crazy.
You can tell them.
Just one. Well, I know in the book they talk about how we had the Russians. We had a tie-in with New Jersey Devils. So they were feeding us players. So we had 5 Russian players that came to town and didn't speak much English, didn't know really much about the U.S. or anything or the rules. So we put them all in one apartment and said, here you go. And they couldn't believe that we had groceries and they could shop for anything. And they just decided that maybe they didn't have to pay all the time for everything.
Luckily, we knew the sheriff.
They had a little
was
problem.
A big hockey fan.
Had a little problem, so but we kept most of them here.
Yeah, we got the call about 2 o'clock in the morning one night, and they were there. Yeah,
tons of stories in the book. Vegas hockey, Vegas strong. Very quickly, the Las Vegas Dice never lasted, but then you had the Coyotes, Wranglers, and of course the Golden Knights. Talk about the last 3 right there. Those, I mean, when you think of the Coyotes, the Wranglers over there at and Steve Stallworth is hanging out. He'll talk about all that. Yeah, but also the Golden Knights kind of wrap it up here, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's what this book. Richard and Bob wrote this. I know it's something they've been thinking about for a long time, and then now with the Knights winning the Cup, it's kind of like, okay, we better do this. Richard was getting sick, so it was time to get this story out about how the history of Vegas. It's not just started in 2016, and that's why there's so many hockey fans and sports fans, and that sports works here, as we see every other sport now wants to jump on with the Golden Knights.
You can see we're fans of the Knights, right?
Yes.
All of us. We sport it, but from day one, we knew NHL hockey could make it here. So when we laid all the groundwork, I used an old adage. We were talking in the back room, and we kind of like with the cake, the old adage about building the cake. We were kind of like the egg and the flour part of it, and then it just kept building for there because we never gave up. We kept pushing it. When we finally heard that the NHL had finally secured Vegas as a spot, we were elated. We were thrilled. Of course, we weren't involved anymore, but obviously it kind of gave us the goosebumpy stuff because it finally happened. We knew it was going to happen for some 30 years, but it finally did happen. And that's why we're the biggest fans of the Knights. We think it's great. And then obviously they helped us write the last chapter, right? The timing was such that when they finally won the cup, we were wrapping it up after 18 months of writing this thing with all the stories. It just couldn't have been better.
Couldn't have wrapped it up better with the Stanley Cup. Myron and Bob, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate that. We're going to